Hello guys, now that we are done with our login module to our system, our next discussion or lesson will be about the notification for our system. Of course, notification is very important for our system to notify the client if ever there is an error or if the process that the client is trying to do is successful. Okay. For example, if we are trying to register an account, of course, if a user registration is successful, there should be a notification that tells us if the process or if what we're trying to do is successful or if what we're trying to do has an error. For example, in this one, we will be trying to register test user 1. If I click register, there should be a message for us to be informed if ever there is an error or if the registration is successful. So I will click this button, and as you can see, there is no notification. But if we look at our database, look at our table, the registration was successful. Now, in this discussion, we will be adding that functionality in our system. Okay. What we will be using for this functionality is specifically the flash data from the section library of CodeIgniter. So, what is flash data? Flash data is what CodeIgniter supports. CodeIgniter supports flash data or session that will only be available for the next request and is then automatically cleared after the request. So, for example, if a client was shown a notification, if the client refreshes that page, the next time that the page will be shown to the client, automatically the notification will be gone. Because normally we only notify our client only once. Once the client has seen the notification, automatically it will be gone. Okay. Let us begin with our coding. The first thing that we are going to do is copy this code and paste it just above the form validation or inside. For example, if we are going to use this inside the register validation, we need to put the mark just above the F statement. Okay, and we will mark this flash data as message, so that the next time that we are going to access this, we will be using the message mark. Okay, now, as you can see, the comment is still here. This is to make sure that we should be adding an error message in here. So, next is we need to copy this. This is for setting the flash data. Since this is the message, we should use the message mark. And then, inside this value, we should be adding the value for our message. Okay, we'll just add a variable here. It says message is equal to, we will add an array. And then, in here, we will add an element that has an index as type, and the value of the type is danger. Since this is an error, this should be danger. And then next is the message. And the value of that is the validation errors. Since this is, if the validation is not successful, of course, we need to pass the message or the notification of whatever are the errors for that particular process. So I will cut this one and then delete the echo and semicolon. And then in here, I will paste the form validation error for this one. Okay. Now let us try to test this if this is working. So we will be trying to generate an error, and then we'll try to see if we can access the notification or we can see the notification. Okay, but first let us copy this. This is how we can get the data or the notification from the flash data. Okay. Since if there is an error, automatically we will be redirected to the register, which in this case in here. And then just below the page title, we will try to add a variable that will hold the flash data, which in this case is the message. And then this message will be passed to the view. Then inside the view, just above, we need to delete this. Just above the form, we need to add an if statement that will check if the message variable is not empty. We will show the notification, which in this case, since we are using a bootstrap, you can use the alert and the success or if there is an error. Okay, then in here we need to echo the type of error. If you remember, we added here, we added the type, which in this case, danger. I used danger so that we can automatically append it to the class, which is the alert dash danger. We all know that in Bootstrap, alert dash danger has a unique color and it will be identified as error. So in here we need to add the type. So in this part we are echoing the type of the message. So if ever we are using a success in here, automatically what will be echoed in here is success. Okay. Then just below that or inside the division, we will add the message. Okay, let us now try if this is working. Register. Let us try to submit a blank form. I will click register. Okay, we have an error. message. We have an illegal string offset message. Let us take a look. Oh, okay. We did not pass the variable inside the flash data value. So we should have copied this variable and inserted it in the second parameter of the set flash data. So I think now this will work. Let's try again. Refresh, and then let us register. And now we have an error notification. So if we refresh this, automatically this notification will be gone. That is the use of flash data. Now let us deal with the other forms. For example, in the login form. No, sorry. I think we need to deal with the success message first. Okay. Let us just copy this and copy it in here. Since this is a success, part, we need to change the type to success. And then in here, we need to add successfully registered. Okay. Let us try to add the correct, let's say, test 1, 2, 3. Okay. So we should be adding the message in this part, in the login page. Next is we need to copy this code, and let us find the view for the login page. So same, just above the form, we need to add the alert message. Okay. So if we add another one, if we click register, we are expecting that we will be shown a notification. If this is a success, it will be green. If it is not, it will be a red for an error. So I click register. Nothing is happening. I see. Because in the user's login page, we did not pass the message. So we need to go to the here, and then we need to pass the message to the login page or login view. Let us try again. Let us just make this 2 and 2, 2, and I will click register. Still there is an error. Okay, I think we need to change this to login, not to all. Okay, let us try again. Register, Let's add a random letter in there and click register, and now we have the notification. Okay, what happened is we are redirecting what happened is we were redirecting to old page, but there was an error because we were not supposed to access the users slash all page because we are not logged in. So that is why we were not able to show the notification. Okay, now let us try to add notification for the login page. Okay, let us go to the login validation in here. But first, let us copy this one. And then in here, and the message should be invalid login data. And of course, we need to mark as message. Oh, sorry. This should be, there should be nothing in here because this should be on the else part of the if statement, because here this is supposed to be a success, so the user will be redirected to the slash all page, and below that is the else, wherein we will be redirected back to the login page. Okay, now let us try. I will refresh this. So we will input something that does not exist in our database. So we will be expecting this message and a danger notification. So I'll click login, and now it is working. Now both registration and login has a notification. Next will be inside the users. And I think we need to create another page for registration, for adding users. For example, if the user did not register from the outside, because as you remember last time, we do not allow accessing the registration page if the user is logged in. So the result to this is to create another page for adding account. So in here, we need to change this to add user, and this one also, users all, Let us delete this. Okay. This one should be redirected to the add user. And this one should be redirected to user/all. And then we need to change the page title to add user. And then for our all users page view, our link should be now going to add user. So let us try that. I will refresh, and now we are going to add users page. But still we need to change the link text. Refresh. Let's go back and refresh. It's now add user. Then let us try to add user. Now we are redirecting to user/all. Let me close the other tabs. Okay. Let's try to check what is happening here. I think we need to create a view only for add user. So what we are going to do is we will duplicate the registration page view to add user page view. Okay, let us close this. And then in here we need to change the action, because right now the action for this one is register validation, which is still going to the register validation, which is currently redirecting to login. That is why we need a different view for this. Let's try again. Click register. No message, because in here this one should be the add user page view. Okay, let us try again. Let us try to look at the action of the form, which is now going to add user validation. So let us try again. Okay, now there is an error because our username field must be at least 5 characters. I think I inputted below that. So let us try again. Register, and now at last it is working. Whew. Okay, next is for the edit. So if I edit this one, there should be a notification in here. Okay. This is very easy because all we need to do is just copy some part of the code. For example, this, let us go to the edit validation, and in here, just like what we have done with the add user validation, we need to mark this flash as message. And here also, if there's an error, we should be redirected to the registration page. But this should be danger, and the validation errors should be passed to the message. We will delete the validation error in here. And in here, we need to add a generic error. For example, something went wrong. And let us try again. I will refresh this and let us edit. And we have here the message registration successful because we did not edit the message. So this one should be update successful. Let us try again. Edit user, update successful. And then in here, I think we need to change some part of our code here, because right now our edit validation, if the validation is unsuccessful, we are redirecting to register. So this should be edit. And also, with our redirection, we should be adding the ID also in here. So that if there is an error, we will be redirected to still the same URL. Okay? For example, right now, if we add this, or if we click this without anything, there should be an error that will be showing in here. Right now, there is a notification because same thing that happened with our previous errors, we did not pass the message to our view. So right now we need to add the message in here. And in the edit user page view, we need to add this code just above the form. Let us just arrange this. Okay. Now let us try to generate an error. And now it is working. So if we change this to 1, 21, 11, edit user, update successful, and we have already updated data. Okay, I think the last one will be the delete. Okay, what we're going to do is just the same, copy, insert it in here, and then also the message, but this should be a success message. Success deleted successfully, and redirect it to the all users slash all, and this now it should work because we already added the message in here. So let us try. Delete this. Okay, this one. Now it is working. So I hope you learned something in our discussion. See you in our next tutorial. Thank you for listening.